Hi everyone, my name is Joshua Boyd, and I'm going to go over my KSA presentation. So, background for my child, we're just going to nickname him Frankie. He reminds me of someone who is online. He's got very similar characteristics to Frankie. He likes kind of the same things. So, went ahead with that nickname for him. So Frankie is a single child. He's lived in Towson his entire life. He's went to the same elementary school with the same kids, the same preschool with some of the same kids. He has really, nothing reported of anything bad with children or bullying or anything, and nothing like that. He has a decent bit of friends. Like, it's not like he's lonely or anything. He enjoys playing hockey, which is definitely interesting for around here in this area. But he enjoys playing hockey, and he wants to be a weatherman when he grows up. He's very into weather, and it's kind of his niche little thing that he likes to do and talk about. So some relevant background information regarding Frankie. Right now, he's currently being tested for autism. I know fourth grade's kind of a later time to test for that, but he kind of, according to his parents, there are some signs. In personal opinion, I don't know if we're allowed to go over personal opinions. I do believe there are signs. I've kind of seen it in him. Some other things about Frankie going off that is he is not someone who enjoys reading. He's not a very, his teacher I've talked to has discussed how he won't read unless he's kind of forced to. And when he's forced to, he will do it, but not necessarily on his own. He won't go out of his way. The teacher's reported as well that he will just kind of flip through the pages, not really read sometimes, especially in like silent reading time when he's reading for something that's not meant for like an assignment. He's also pulled daily for small groups of struggling readers. So it's like a small group of him, 2 kids from 3rd grade and a kid from 5th grade. They go over like phonics and comprehension, all the kind of the basics, just to kind of get him caught up. And he is tested as a 2nd grade level reader. So previously, I believe in either February or January, he was tested at a 2nd grade level. So what we decided to do was I pulled him and did some work with him. So the first test we did here is a QR7 student word list. So what we did is we gave him a group of words, and kind of what we based it off of is what if he was able to read them and say them without stopping. So something that Frankie really struggled with was reading words without breaking them down. He would say the words correctly, but it was very hard. Some words that were a little bit more challenging, he would have to use his fingers to kind of break down fully. So here are the results here. 1st grade, he kind of crushed for the most part. He was very independent, but that 2nd grade level words that we got to was very frustrating for him and everyone involved. So after that, we ended up going on to a QR7 student oral reading assessment. We did this for both 1st grade level books and 2nd grade level books. So as you can see here, we have our 1st grade level. We give him 2 books, one book that focuses on phonics, one book that is focused on a narrative. He definitely did a better job at the book that was related to phonics. As mentioned, he is pretty good at breaking down words and understanding the sounds of words. He did struggle a little bit with the narrative, I think mainly because his comprehension is not great, as is tested down there below. He got 60% on that one, and that's just the 1st grade level. So bumping up to the 2nd grade level, we did the same thing, phonics and narrative type books. As you can see, the phonics section was pretty solid, really good. And then when we got into the narrative, he really struggled with comprehension and just reading, and it was very frustrating for him, to break down those words. And it was, from what I understood from doing it was very hard for him to break down the word, have to break down each word and then remember what was happening through the story. So that's where I think he really struggled on that regard. So then we went on to an elementary reading attitude survey. So what this is just kind of some general questions. We asked some questions like, do you read at home? Do you read in school? Would you read if asked? Do you hate reading when asked? Do you like reading when asked? Do you read for assignments? Do you not like to read for assignments? And this is kind of what we got. So recreational reading, he got a 2 out of 4 on his questions. Just kind of, do you read at home? Do you like to read on your own? What kind of books do you read, or, that kind of thing. And the academic reading, he got a 3 out of 4 just based on the questions of, would you read if given something to read? Would you read for an assessment? If your parents asked you to read something, would you read it? And that was kind of his response to that, and we gave him about a 3 out of 4 on that scale. So, recommendations. So, my big recommendation, I would say, he needs some more one-on-one time. I think that the small group is helping him a lot, especially in his phonics area, but I really think that that's all they focus on. Not, I haven't been able to go in and watch that group talk or discuss, but I really think that they spend too much time on phonics, because I think everything that's showing in his testing that we worked together on was, his phonics was phenomenal. I mean, he was able to really break down everything, really able to, come together and decide what was working, how to say a word, all that. But his comprehension and overall understanding of the text and fluency just weren't very great. And I think those are things that they don't really spend enough time on there with, just based on opinion. So I would say that, and something that can help that comprehension and fluency is reader's theater and repeated reading. Just finding ways to reward him with, reading more or reading the same thing over and over again, to find that comprehension, to learn comprehension skills and strategies to use when he is doing different, assignments and reading in the future, and really getting him to be a stronger reader. As mentioned, more sophisticated small group. I think maybe a smaller group that focuses more on comprehension and fluency would help him a lot, as opposed to the group that he is in now that really focuses on, phonics and sounding out words. I think that he has really nailed that part of reading. I think it's time for him to move on to something a little bit more challenging that would better help them, especially at a 4th grade level. More books, lessons about weather and hockey, just, finding things that interest him, that make him want to read, and getting into, using the reading strategies. And that also goes hand in hand with encouraged reading. And that's something that his parents we can recommend to his parents to work on, is finding books about stuff that he likes, finding books that he will read that can help him with these strategies and help him gain that comprehension, fluency, and, learn new words and practice saying those words. That way he doesn't have to stop and break down every word that he sees to really help him. So that's kind of the gist of everything. Lastly, I want to say thank you to everybody for this semester and watching all these screencasts, and it's been a real pleasure with everybody. So thank you, and yeah.